Picture this moment. You are sitting with a group of people. Someone turns to you and asks a simple question in English. Your brain understands every word. You know the answer. But when you open your mouth, nothing comes out. Your throat tightens. Your thoughts scatter. You smile and look away, and inside, something small breaks. You have lived this moment, maybe many times. And here is what nobody has told you yet. That silence is not because you are bad at English. That silence has a very specific reason. And once you understand it clearly, everything changes. Most people think fluency is about studying more. More grammar, more vocabulary, more hours watching English videos. But learners who do all of that are still silent, still frozen, still waiting. What if the problem is not how much you are learning, but how you are learning? Stay with me until the end of this video, because today I am going to show you exactly why your English is stuck, what is silently blocking your voice, and the small daily habits that will begin changing everything starting from today. Not someday, not after one more course, today. Let me tell you about a moment I will never forget. Someone asked me a question in English, a simple question, and I understood it perfectly. I knew the answer. I had the words somewhere inside my mind, but when I tried to speak, my mouth just stopped. I smiled, I stayed quiet, and the conversation moved on without me. That night I sat alone and kept asking myself the same question. Why can I understand English but not speak it? I thought maybe I was not smart enough. Maybe my grammar was too weak. Maybe my accent was the problem. But slowly I discovered something surprising. My English was not the problem. My habits were the problem. And that discovery changed everything. Think about someone who loves football. He watches every match. He knows the players, the strategies, the rules. He can explain every position on the field. But he has never once kicked a real ball. Now put him on a real field, ask him to play. He will struggle. Not because he does not understand football, but because understanding and doing are two completely different things. English is exactly the same. You can watch videos for years. You can read articles every day. You can score well on grammar tests. And still, when someone speaks to you in real life, your voice disappears. Because you have been training your eyes and your ears, but not your mouth. Speaking is a physical skill. It lives in your muscles, your breath, your tongue. And like any physical skill, it only grows through practice, through repetition, through use. This is the first thing you must truly understand. Knowing English and speaking English are not the same thing. One is information, the other is a skill. And skills are built through daily action, not daily study alone. So what is actually stopping you? The first reason is fear. And I want to talk about this honestly, because fear is more powerful than most learners realize. Fear does not look like fear. It looks like waiting. It looks like thinking too long before you speak. It looks like choosing to stay quiet when you actually know the answer. Fear wears many disguises. I remember sitting in a classroom years ago. The teacher asked a question. I knew the answer immediately, but instead of raising my hand, I looked down at my notebook. My mind was saying, what if you say it wrong? What if they laugh? And so I stayed silent. And someone else answered. And inside, I felt that quiet disappointment in myself that I know so many of you feel too. Here is what fear does. It does not just stop one sentence. It stops you from practicing. And when you stop practicing, your speaking never improves. And when your speaking never improves, the fear grows stronger. It becomes a cycle that feeds itself. The way to break this cycle is not to wait until the fear disappears. The fear will not disappear first. Confidence comes after action, not before it. Every fluent speaker you admire was once afraid. Every voice you respect was once uncertain. They did not speak because they felt ready. They spoke and then slowly felt ready. The second reason is something called the translation habit. And this one is very common and very damaging. When most learners hear English, their brain immediately translates everything into their native language. Then, when they want to answer, they form the sentence in their native language first and then try to translate it back into English. This process is slow, it is tiring, and it makes speaking feel like solving a math problem every time someone says hello. Imagine someone asks you, "How was your day?" A learner caught in the translation habit thinks like this. First, they understand the question by converting it into their own language. Then they form their answer in their own language. Then they search for the English words. Then they check the grammar. And by the time they are ready to speak, the other person has already moved on. The solution is to begin training your brain to think in English. Not in complete sentences at first, just small, simple thoughts. When you feel hungry, think, "I am hungry." When you wake up in the morning, think, "I am tired." When you see something beautiful, think, "This is nice." These are not big exercises, but over weeks and months, they rewire the way your brain handles English. Instead of translating, you begin responding. And that is when real fluency starts to feel possible. The third reason is passive learning, and this one surprises many people. Passive learning means consuming English without producing it. Watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading articles, all of this is valuable. But if you never use your own voice, you are only building half of the skill. Think about learning to swim by watching videos of professional swimmers. You could watch hundreds of hours. You could understand every stroke, every breath, every technique. But the moment you step into the water, your body does not know what to do. Because your body was never trained, only your eyes were. Speaking works the same way. Your mouth, your tongue, your breathing, your rhythm, they all need practice separately. They need to be used. One thing I started doing changed everything for me. Instead of only watching English videos quietly, I began repeating sentences out loud. Not silently, out loud. At first, I felt awkward. My pronunciation felt strange. I was not sure I was doing it correctly. But after a few weeks, something shifted. My mouth started moving more naturally. Words started coming out faster. The gap between thinking and speaking became smaller. You do not need a conversation partner to start. You can start alone, right now, in your own room. That is enough. Here is something most learners are never told. And this is the part I want you to really hear. The biggest obstacle between you and fluent English is not grammar. It is not vocabulary. It is not your accent. It is perfectionism. Many learners believe that every sentence must be perfect before they open their mouth. Perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, perfect word choice. And because of this impossible standard, they never speak at all. But think about this. When a child learns to walk, do they wait until they can walk perfectly before they take their first step? Of course not. They fall, they stumble, they try again, and eventually they walk. And then they run. Language is the same. Mistakes are not the enemy of fluency. Mistakes are the road to fluency. Every error is information. Every awkward sentence is practice. Every moment you speak, even imperfectly, your brain is learning. There was a learner named Arif. He had studied English for 6 years. His grammar knowledge was excellent. He could read academic articles, he could write long emails. But he had never once had a real conversation in English because he was waiting to feel ready. One day, a foreign colleague visited his office and asked him a simple question. Arif panicked. He answered in broken sentences, mixing English with silence. He felt embarrassed for days. But that conversation changed him. Not because it went well, because it showed him something real. The fear in his imagination was bigger than the actual moment. The colleague understood him. Nobody laughed. The conversation happened, imperfectly, yes, but it happened. After that day, Arif started speaking in small ways every single day. Mirror practice, short conversations, describing his surroundings out loud while walking. 6 months later, that same colleague visited again. And this time, Arif held a full conversation. Not perfectly, but confidently. Confidence did not come from waiting. It came from doing. Now let me give you something practical, something you can begin today. The first habit is called 1-minute speaking. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you eat breakfast, stand in front of a mirror and speak in English for 1 minute. Talk about anything, how you slept, what you feel, what you want to do today. The topic does not matter. The voice does. This 1 minute every morning trains your mouth, your brain, and your confidence at the same time. It is small enough that you will never feel too busy for it, but consistent enough that after a few months, you will not recognize how much easier speaking feels. The second habit is thinking in English during small, quiet moments. While you are walking, while you are cooking, while you are waiting for something, use those moments to describe what you see, what you feel, what you notice. The sky is cloudy today. I need to remember to call my friend. This food smells good. Simple sentences, real English, practiced in real moments. The third habit is enjoying English, not just studying it. If English always feels like work, your brain will resist it. But if English is connected to something you love, whether that is music or stories or topics that excite you, your brain stays open. It absorbs more. It resists less. Watch videos about things that genuinely interest you in English. Listen to music you love and read the lyrics slowly. Follow a story that makes you feel something. Let English become part of your life, not just your study routine. I want to tell you about a girl named Ria. Ria was not a bad student. She understood English well. She could read. She could answer grammar questions. But whenever someone spoke to her in English, her voice disappeared. Her mind went blank. Her confidence fell away completely. Every day at school, she sat near the window in the third row. She always knew the answers to the teacher's questions, but she never raised her hand. Other students spoke, even when they made mistakes. Ria stayed silent because she believed one mistake would make everyone see how weak she was. One afternoon, the teacher asked every student to introduce themselves in English. When it was Ria's turn, her heart beat so fast she could hear it. Her hands felt cold. She spoke 2 sentences, sat down quickly, and spent the rest of the class looking at the floor. That evening, she sat alone and asked herself a question she had never asked before. If I understand English, then why am I so afraid to speak it? The answer came slowly and quietly. Her problem was not English. Her problem was fear. And fear had been making every decision about her voice for years. The next morning, she made herself a very small promise. Not to become fluent in 1 month, not to speak perfectly, just to speak in English for 5 minutes every single day. She stood in front of her bedroom mirror and talked. about her day, about what she noticed, about small, ordinary things. She forgot words, she made mistakes, sometimes she laughed at herself, but she kept going. Weeks passed, and one day, something small but powerful happened. A classmate asked Ria a question in English, and without thinking, without preparing, without translating, she answered. The sentence was not perfect, but it was real, and it was hers. Months later, Ria was having short conversations, not because the fear was gone, but because she had learned to speak while the fear was still there. She told a friend once, "I used to think I needed to feel confident before I could speak, but now I know, you speak first, then confidence comes." Maybe Ria's story sounds familiar. Maybe you also understand more than you can say. Maybe fear has been making the decisions about your voice for too long. But remember this, and please hold it close. Every fluent speaker was once where you are right now. Every confident voice was once afraid. The journey does not begin when you are perfect. The journey begins when you decide to speak anyway. Let us bring everything together. Your English is not as broken as you feel. What is broken is the habit. The habit of waiting, the habit of translating, the habit of staying silent until you feel ready. Real change begins with small daily actions. Speak for 1 minute in the morning. Think in English during quiet moments. Connect English to the things you love. Let go of perfect. And start letting your voice do the work that your brain has already prepared it to do. Progress will be quiet. You will not notice it every day. But one morning you will wake up and realize that speaking feels lighter than it did before. That the pause between thinking and speaking is shorter. That the fear is still there, but your voice is louder than it used to be. That is fluency, not a moment, not a certificate. A quiet transformation built one small step at a time. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not too far behind. You are exactly where the journey begins. And in our next video, we are going to talk about something that stops even motivated learners from making real progress. The one listening habit that is keeping your brain in passive mode, and exactly how to switch it off. You will not want to miss it. Keep practicing, keep going. I will see you there.